Right everyone, WeaponCollector here. Right, this is going to be a discussion on using crossbows while in a wheelchair. So I was talking to Nick's Knives. He'd originally asked Weapons and Stuff 93 about what would be the best crossbow for shooting while in a wheelchair. And then he spoke to me about it. And he originally wanted a Jaguar, which is that crossbow just there, which I'll show you in a second. Because they are quite inexpensive, shoot most bolts and easy to get. The issue is I think they'd be quite difficult to cock while in a wheelchair. So what I want to do in this video is see what can and can't be done in a wheelchair using the Jaguar and another crossbow and discuss things that will work and what won't work. So before we get too far in, I don't think he wants a pistol crossbow before anyone mentions that. I think he wants a full-size crossbow. The good thing with the Jaguar, as I mentioned, it's quite easy maintenance, decent power, shoots most bolts and stuff like that. Yeah, and these are cheap as well. But saying that, at the minute these are quite hard to get. So we'll see whether these can be shot from a crossbow using just the pulling method. I had the idea of putting the foot stirrup on one of the foot holders and then cocking it like that. You'll see that. I also tried to cock it with a cocking rope, and I also tried to cock it on my chest like that. And remember, this is a 150-pound prod, which also makes a difference. If you had a weaker prod in these, some of the ways that you try to cock it, as I'll show you, probably could be done easier with a lower weight prod. So yeah, you'll see some tests on that. The one I thought that would be perfect would be the R9. The only issue with the R9 is the price. Now this is a lot cheaper than the Cobra Adder at least, but it is quite a bit more than the Jaguars. I'll tell you another thing we thought of was a hand crank. A hand crank would work, but a hand crank's going to be quite slow, and also you'd have to buy the hand crank. And I'm not 100% on this price, but someone else, Richard Weaponsmith, looked into it, and he said that a hand crank, I think, for a Jaguar is around about 65 quid. So once you have the Jaguar and the added 65 quid, it's probably coming up to the price of around about one of these anyway. And this you can definitely use in a wheelchair. So there'll be a demo of that, and you can also put higher prods on these as well. So I'll do a couple of demos now, and we'll see how they go. We'll see what can and can't be done, and then I'll be back. You might be able to pull it back that way, but that is not easy to do. It's a lot harder than doing it with your foot, and it's awkward because you're doing it on a sort of side and you're not as high up on the crossbow as you would be. If you're standing up, you'd be here. I think it'll take a bit of training, it'll be difficult. And also if it slipped off, it can be dangerous. So I don't really think that's an option. Right, so the other option is using one of these. Again, it's quite awkward to do. I don't know if it would work because you still need to. Problem is you need to hold the crossbow still. I suppose you can lay it down and put it against your body. Just lifting it up. I don't think that's an option either, really. You could put it on the foot stirrup and cock it like that, but again you could pull it up into your face quite easily, I think. That could easily slip off and you've got the butt straight in your face. I think the foot stirrup on the foot pad there is a possibility, but it was not easy. If you had quite a low weight crossbow, maybe £40, you could actually probably cock it like this. Even going down to 110 you might be able to do it like that, but it's a lot of, you're putting a lot of pressure on your chest. Yeah, that's not a comfortable way to cock. And again, 150 you could do it, but it's not going to be comfortable doing it. I think you'd soon get tired out. Shooting from here though would be alright, as you know. But yeah, cocking like that would be difficult, I think. So that's if you was doing it with a Jaguar or any sort of recurve crossbow where you have to pull it back by hand. About the only crossbow I know that would definitely be able to be shot from a wheelchair easily is either the R9 or the Cobra Adder. I think this would be better suited than the Cobra Adder though, because you can shoot full size bolts, you can put broadheads on these, and this will shoot cheaper bolts, whereas personally my Adder will only shoot the EK archery bolts and nothing else will fire properly out of it. You won't have the quiver on the front, I did that, but yeah, let's have a demo. I don't really need to show you this, you know this would work anyway. But the only thing is the price issue, but I think a fully kitted out R9 would probably cost you around about the same as a Jaguar if you can find one, and an added crank on it. They're probably equal about the same. And this one will take down really easily, the pins get pushed out. You can put different limbs on it. Obviously you're not going to be able to go up to 150, but they do £130 prod for these, and I think they're going to do a £150. You can mod these limbs yourself anyway pretty easily. The only restriction you have with these is having to buy bolts that have a specific knock on, but I have found on AliExpress these bolts I'm firing here are half the price of other bolts that are similar, and they fire absolutely perfectly. You can make your own pretty easily out of aluminium bolts. Right, so there you go. I think the Jaguar with a £150 prod on it is a little bit too difficult without training to shoot from a wheelchair, personally. I could just about get the string to about there while sitting down, same as with my chest. And the thing is, I could probably do it, but it would be dangerous. You could smack yourself in the face with the stock. Unless you modded your wheelchair to have a hook there, but then, you know, could that cause other issues? But yeah, I think if you put a, maybe, I can't remember what these come down to, I think you can put a £110 or a £90 prod on this, but then you're starting to lower the poundage. But the one that will definitely shoot is the R9, more expensive. Will only take certain bolts, but you can get these bolts from AliExpress quite cheap, and they shoot absolutely perfectly, and never had an issue with them, and they're also full size, because the bolts you get with these, for some reason, they send you pistol bolts with them. I think, weighing up all of the pros and cons, I think personally this would be the way to go. If anyone knows any better ideas, let me know though. If you know any techniques to cock a Jaguar or any other recurve crossbow with just your hands or whatever, let us know. It'll be interesting. Cause some of you lot may, you know, there may be people who shoot crossbows in wheelchairs who've got the answer just like that and could just say, yes, you know, this crossbow, this, and it's cheap. One other thing I would mention is obviously people have different disabilities as well. Some people are in a wheelchair and can use their feet a bit like my mum. She has a wheelchair but she can walk a little bit, so she might actually be able to sit, put her foot in the stirrup and cock it. Yeah, it all depends on disabilities essentially, doesn't it? I hope that helped people, and I hope people come up with some good ideas and we can then help people in wheelchairs get shooting some crossbows. Right, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, share it if you like. Definitely subscribe to see more stuff like this, and if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell. Alright, thank you for watching. See you later.